right, guys. So let's part two of this episode. We're gonna focus on Manchester United. We have Yaga here. Daniel is not here yet, but I'm sure Yaga is able to take care of all the issues, and I'm sure he would echo whatever Daniel would have to say about the United situation. Yaga, we just talked about Spurs and then how everything is going so well. What's going on at United? Because during the summer, we heard about Sancho, Upamecano, we heard about Reguilon, we heard about Dembele, we heard about, at one point we heard about Gareth Bale. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, that's correct.
Pretty much every player.
Is it fair to say that during this window, you guys did sign Alex Telles, which I think he's a very good player.
Yeah,
which, I mean, is an improvement for Migalo. And then you sign Van de Beek. He's the one guy that I'm not sure if you need it. But what my takeaway from this transfer window you guys had was it seems like you guys got players that you can get and not the players that you wanted or needed. Is that a fair assessment? Because I don't think Telles was your first choice left back, because obviously Reguilon was that, but you guys didn't want to agree to the buyback clause. And Van de Beek being a midfielder, he's very good, but I'm not sure where he fits in with, the midfield you guys have. And Cavani, he was on a free, so it's very easy to do that deal. What has gone wrong for you guys where United, a team as big as United, cannot get their targets? Because I don't remember a team of that size not being able to get their targets.
I mean, Jeff, the problem with United, it has nothing to do with we not being able to get our targets, right? It's the problem with Woodward. Okay, so you have a man who doesn't believe in certain things, and for some strange reason, I don't know why. Okay, because I think something came out yesterday that Solskjaer's main targets were Sancho, Upamecano, and Reguilon, right?
Mm-hmm.
These were his targets. These were the players he wanted for the new season. And then you go in and sign Cavani. And I'm not saying Cavani is not a great addition. Of course, he's better than Igalo, right? Mm-hmm. But if you wanted Cavani, if Cavani was your first choice, you would have gotten Cavani when the transfer window opened, because he was free since May. So clearly, Cavani was a panic buy.
Yeah.
If you really wanted Cavani, you would have, because that man was free from May.
Yeah.
So if you wanted him, that would have been your first signing of the season. Mm-hmm. So now, okay, was that a right signing? We yet to see it. I don't really think he's going to make any major impact. I mean, despite him being able to score whatever goals for the past 10 years, I don't think he's going to, make any huge impact. Now, Van de Beek, I genuinely think he's a player we need. But then does Solskjaer have, the balls, excuse my language, to drop Pogba? Because if you're not playing Pogba at his right position, he's always going to be playing as badly as he played against Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy, he loses balls easily. He cannot defend. He just cannot do the things we are asking him to do. He plays well. He would thrive well when you put him at Bruno Fernandes's position. And I don't think Solskjaer is willing to do that, because now his go-to man is Bruno. But if you're not playing Pogba there, I don't think Pogba is effective in the team.
I think that's Van de Beek's preferred position as well, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you playing Pogba at a run position, I don't know how you expect to make any changes. And now you sign Telles, as you said, he's a great player. We yet to see if he can do it in the Premier League. We always say that. So I'm just hoping that he'll be a great addition to the squad. But the problem is Woodward, and there's nothing more to say. I don't want to say anything. You can't even blame Solskjaer if he's not really producing, because the defense is just symbolic. Okay, Maguire. Oh my God, I can't believe how we paid £80 million for that player.
For who?
Maguire.
80 million.
Maguire.
80 million.
How are you tackling your own player? See, he did that against I think we played what's it Southampton? I forgot. During the COVID whatever, when they restarted, he was actually tackling, I think, Luke Shaw or Wan-Bissaka or someone. Like that was we played some Dalton 2-2 at home. I don't even.
Oh yeah. The last goal that they scored, in the corner. Yeah, he was marking Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, you know what? He was tired, but it looks like that's the type of player he is. He wants to actually tackle his own players. It's ridiculous. It's just, oh my God, the defense is so poor. So I don't see why you sell Smalling, because to be honest with you, Smalling is better than Maguire. I'm just being honest with you.
Hey, on this form, I don't know if there's any top defenders that this guy is a better than.
If you sell Smalling, you have Bailly, who's just made of glass because he gets injured every 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. And I think genuinely that's our best defender. But you can't rely on him. You have Lindelof, because we're always blaming Lindelof. But the problem is Maguire. I don't think he should be captain, because he's not. He's way off that captain caliber. He's just way off. He doesn't say anything. He's just there. He doesn't address anything. I just don't know why, you have that player in your team. I understand you bought him for 80 million, but you need to drop him at this point. You just need to drop him. I don't know if Sashi could do it, because, he's not even sure of himself as a coach. So I don't know if he has the balls to actually do that. Maguire is not fit to be in the team. Wan-Bissaka, he's not good going forward. He's just, I just don't know.
Did he just say that about Wan-Bissaka?
You were the same guy that when he came in last season.
No.
Wan-Bissaka.
No. See, Wan-Bissaka is good when it comes to defending. He's not good at attack. Come on, he's not. We all know that. He's not good. I've never been a guy saying, "Oh, okay." If you compare Rich James, right? If you compare Rich James, Trent,
Arnold,
Trent, all these guys are good going forward.
Yeah.
He doesn't support Greenwood.
That's also why he hasn't been called for England yet, because and right now it seems like Lamptey is ahead of him in the right back.
He's actually going to play for Congo, I think.
Yeah, probably.
So, you have this guy. You have Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw, he's okay, but he's not really. The team is just bad.
It's just bad.
The team is just bad, and at this point, I really don't know what to expect this season. I genuinely don't know what to expect this season.
What is Telles' position? Is he left back? Telles?
Yeah, so Telles was the guy that I was telling Iaga about that.
You guys wanted him, right?
Yeah, no. The thing about him was when Leicester wanted 80 million for Chilwell. We're probably digressing here, but when Leicester wanted 80 million for Chilwell, and I said there's no way a left back is worth 80 million, and I said I'd much rather get Telles because I do not think that Telles for 15 or 20 million is risky enough.
He's 27,
right? He's 27 years old, and if you can get Telles for that kind of price, I'd much rather take that than spend 80 million on Chilwell. As good as Chilwell is, he's not worth 80 million for me. So that's the kind of that. So I think United did very well getting him for.
But how long did it take?
Well, that's the
problem I'm talking about. Woodward is just, man. I don't know.
I just feel like with United there was no proper planning. I just feel like you're always with the panic purchase.
That's a Woodward.
That's exactly the true revelation of it happened this transfer window, and I'm yet to see what's going to happen in January, because you guys definitely need to get center back based on the complaint that you recently made. I feel like once you guys get a center back,
you can get Rudiger.
I'm sorry. I know Rudiger is good, but we don't want him. You guys don't want him.
Rudiger is a better defender than Maguire and Lindelof. Come on.
Yeah, we had this conversation before. I don't want to digress.
I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to say anything, actually. Listen, Maguire is just, I don't want to see that man anywhere. And I don't understand why they didn't keep him in Greece.
Bobby, what are your thoughts about this United situation? Because it looks like a whole mess over there.
Oh, absolutely, and it's funny because the report that came out this morning was Ed Woodward's ready to fire Ole.
Yes, right. I read that, and it was weird.
It's funny because Ed Woodward's, he's right. He should be the one that needs to go. Do business. And he's right. Their whole back line is shambolic. And we showed that. I know that they were down a man and everything, but all four of them got beat left and right. Bailly was their best player in that game, and he's right. That's probably their best defender, but the dude keeps getting injured left and right. And Pogba for me, Pogba is not the same Pogba as he was last year. who wasn't the same Pogba as he was the year before that.
Yeah.
So they need to figure out what's going on there. And the talk has always been it's mental for Pogba, which makes sense, but I don't know.
He's talking about Real Madrid, though, Bobby. Yeah, like I saw this interview. Yeah. 2 days ago, he's at the French camp, and he's talking about it's a dream to play for Real Madrid.
No, but listen, I genuinely think people are taking that out of context. Listen, come on. Every player, most players will want to play for.
But Yaga, you don't say that.
You don't say that at this time.
I understand that. But listen, after that, he said he's a United and he wants to make sure it brings.
No, come on, that's political talk. Yeah, that's political talk.
No, that's the wrong answer, though. Hear me out, Yaga. Hear me out. When they ask you a question about a rival team, I mean, obviously they're not direct rivals, but United and Real Madrid are rivals. It's just bad timing that at a point where United are struggling and you are in terrible form. I've never seen Pogba play so bad this season. In a time where United are struggling, you're gonna throw it out there that I would like to play for Real Madrid, but I'm a Manchester United player and I'm willing to help them work it. That's the wrong answer. Just say that. I don't want to talk about Real Madrid.
That's why I'm saying he needs to be out of the team. He's shown time and time again that he's not ready for United. So. And you think he doesn't know this was going to happen? He knows that. He knows this is what he's going to be getting from that interview. He knows that. He knows what he's doing. So that's what I'm saying. Why are we still relying on him? He's not ready for the team. He doesn't want to be there. And Pogba, I have news for you because Madrid doesn't want you either.
Yeah.
I don't think Madrid wants you know what I'm saying? So all these things you're doing, you think you're trying to get a move away. Madrid don't want you. To be honest with you, I don't think they want him in that before they got now. So, I mean, I just think he has to go. To be honest with you, he has to go because he's costing us a lot.
How about McTominay for center back? Wasn't he playing center back at some point?
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know what Ole got going on, so I really don't know what to say.
I don't think the thing with this is I do not think that he is that caliber of a coach to make big decisions like that.
Exactly.
Right? Like I do not think that he's that way. He can drop Pogba. He can drop Maguire when they're playing back. I just don't see it. But because those two players alone are what, 200 million? I mean, I don't think he's that. But Mourinho would do that.
That's the entire Chelsea transfer this season.
Right? Right? Mourinho would do that, but I don't think Ole has that kind of pedigree to make those big boy decisions, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's high time he makes those. Because listen.
Yeah, but is he the guy to do that, though?
Before because listen, the fans were pressuring him to what's his name? To play Bailly instead of Lindelof in the last game. And he did that. Mm-hmm. I think it's at this point, listen, Maguire he's not gonna change. Okay, he's very slow. He just doesn't know what he's doing. Today, I guess he played well against Belgium. And he started talking about, listen, Maguire, you're not good enough to be a top-tier centre-back, okay? Pogba, you're not playing well. So at this point, you've tried it so many times, it's not working. You have to grow the balls and make changes.
Yaga, I have a question for you, though. Do you think that the Manchester United team is too big for Solskjaer? Do you feel that he's not the type of manager that can manage a club like this, especially in these hard times?
Wait, Yaga, before you go, I just want to add this, Derek. It was just a couple months ago that United were on top of the world. We're talking about 3 months ago. They were winning games. How long did they go until losing the game?
But Jeff, you never know the caliber of a manager until you start to face problems. That's when you know, this. Yeah.
But Derek, this is the third time he's been it. Okay, when he took over, we're just winning games until after the PSG game.
Yep.
Right? Now we dropped. And then when last season started, we're just losing games, and then we picked up again. Mm-hmm. It's like with Solskjaer, it's just on and off. I wouldn't say the team is too big for him. You know why? Because look at Lampard. I mean, Lampard has bare minimum, experience as a coach, but you could tell Lampard can make some decisions when things are going wrong for Chelsea.
Again, but you know why? You know why he can do that?
Why?
You cannot tell me that Lampard's pedigree in Chelsea as a player can be equated to what Solskjaer was doing when he was a manager.
But you can't, because listen, so when you mention Solskjaer, we all refer him to 1999 when he won.
And that's all we all remember him for.
He's held in high regard as one of the deadliest.
Come on.
Yeah.
No. We hold him in high regard at United. To be honest with you, Lampard is probably Chelsea's greatest player ever to me. But of course, he's not on the same level. But I genuinely think we actually hold him in high regard when it comes to Solskjaer as well. Not to the Ronaldos, not to the Giggs.
I'll tell you something. If you look at how the old Manchester United players talk about Manchester United and Solskjaer when things are going bad versus even Chelsea players, like old Chelsea players talking about Lampard, you can see a really big difference.
But Derek, I do think it's
the amount. The reason I'm saying that is because I don't even think that former Manchester United players think that Solskjaer is the right man to do the job. They don't think he's qualified to do the job.
Some dude, the guy he used to play with. But listen, if he's not doing good, I don't care about what he did for United. But I'm just saying, just to answer your question as far as is he is United too big? I'm just saying there's been managers that just walk in the team, right? And they don't have the experience. But you could tell they can make some decisions. Well, you guys played against West Brom. You were 3-0 down, right? If it was United, I don't think we would have drew that game. That's what I'm saying. Solskjaer doesn't have any plan. Okay, if the game goes against him right from the start, United's not coming back. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I don't know when it comes to that. I don't know if he's that right manager. But I mean, if he was given the job, I guess they thought he could do the job, right?
Because I personally feel that the way players like Neville, Patrice, Evra would talk about Manchester United, it's almost like, whoa, we're dealing with a dead team now. Like, you only need one mistake or one thing to go wrong, and all the former players start talking about Manchester United like a team that needs to be salvaged from something.
But mind
you are not going to see that happen.
No,
They're always talking about the board. Everyone's talking about slap. They're always talking about the board because they know the problem. Because listen, post Fergie, we've had 4 managers. The problem is not the manager. Clearly. Post Fergie, we had Moyes. Then Giggs came in as an interim for the last few months. Then we had Van Gaal. Then we had Mourinho. Then we have this is a 5th manager in 7 years. That's unheard of for United. So I don't genuinely think it has to do with the manager. Because listen, now Solskjaer has all these players, right? If you get rid of him and sign Pochettino, I don't think these players we have would Pochettino. So he want to make a signing, and it keeps going on. I don't think the problem is the manager. I think the problem is the board. Woodward, just stick to the business side. Get us somebody who has football knowledge. Just let the person work with the manager. Because clearly, Solskjaer one of his players, and you sign people that you think money-wise is good for the team. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So he's doing his own thing, and he's not working with. Because clearly, Solskjaer didn't want Cavani. He didn't want Telles. He didn't want. I don't even think he wanted Van de Beek. But of course, Van de Beek was 40 million. Telles.
Available, yeah.
It was like, okay, let me sign the players that are good for the team, so the fans will shut up. But it's not about the signings you're making. You're not making the right signings. So Solskjaer clearly wanted Sancho. I don't see why you wouldn't sign Sancho. You bet for what, $95 million. Clearly, Dortmund is telling you they want 108. Why can't you add the difference? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying Sancho would have solved everything, but that's what we wanted. So now when you sign Sancho and he's not doing, proving himself, then we know, okay, hey,
he's the manager. Yeah.
You didn't get him what he wanted. And Lampard, I guarantee you, all the signings that you guys made were Lampard.
For sure.
Derek's point, though. To Derek's point, like the thing you were saying about Lampard, Derek, I think last season he had a pass because of the transfer window. If they had this season, he's not getting off with it. He's not getting off with it. Last season was just it was like Ole's first season when the first season didn't go well. Nobody wanted Ole out. Because it was just, okay, let's give him time. But if it happens again this season where we're struggling, Lampard is going to get on the hot seat. So I think this is isolated.
True.
Evan, let me get you in here about this United situation. Do you see anything good coming off of it?
So with Manchester United, aside from their signings and aside from man management and whatnot, I still feel like what Biagi is saying is actually correct. So they need to basically revamp their whole structure in terms of like a sporting director and whatnot. I think once they revamp their structure and identify, hey, these are signs that we'd like to do like Chelsea does, it may put them in a better position than what they're currently in right now. Because you know how Chelsea does business. Before the season's even over, we know who we're going to sign. Even before January transfer window, we know who we're going to sign. United will just be waiting, dragging their feet, and then get the last minute sales or purchase. And that's not really effective. And I honestly conclude and say that they're not really ready for this season. Because remember, we had a short interim break, right? And now we just kicked up again. I already called them out not being in the top 4 this season. So I feel like once they're able to make that change in the structure, United might revive and come back to the old ways. But other than that, it's just going to be dead anymore.
And what them make a huge signing in general when we actually probably 10th on the table?
That's possible. Okay, so Chelsea, we talked enough about United. Take up all our time because every time we talk about United, it takes up all the time because there's so much problems.
because and you guys, you lots also hate United a lot. That's the problem.
I know.
You guys hate
Listen up to Chelsea because I mean we made all our signings. We had an episode where we talked about most of our signings, but we had one huge signing that we needed to make. Our goalkeeper situation was a joke. The guy, I do not know. We spent and talking about spending 80 million on a defender. And Yaga reminds me of this all the time. We spent 72 million, a world record on this Kepa guy.
He's still the most expensive goalie in the world.
He's the most expensive goalkeeper. And I still honestly do believe that the reason why we signed the guy was, one, we panicked because Courtois did not return after the World Cup. He did not come back. And he was forcing the move. And he had 1 year left. So he kind of forced our hand. That's why we only sold him for like 30 million to Real Madrid. And we had only a few weeks to get the Kepa signing over the line. And I don't think we scouted this guy enough, honestly.
No, Jeff, sorry to interrupt you. The guy was a great keeper at Bilbao. Trust me. He was a great, I don't know what happened to him. He was a great goalkeeper. Trust me.
We don't know what happened to him.
I don't know what happened to him. Yeah.
The nightmare of Kepa hopefully is over.
It's just
guys. Two-part question about this. I think, do you guys think he can resurrect his career again? Ibn, I'm going to start with you. Do you think he can resurrect his career again? Or is the signing of Edouard Mendy, that guy's huge, man. He's 6'6". I mean, he looks like a goalkeeper. Is Kepa's career over at Chelsea? Or is there a point where he can find a way to maybe, catch some form? But I don't know how. Ibn, how do you think this thing is going to work out?
So I feel like the club is too big for him, honestly speaking. Hey, welcome, Daniel. so yeah, I feel like Chelsea is too big for him. He actually made a statement recently saying that he's going to try to get first team place back out this season, which I highly doubt. Because already the fans are like against him already, saying, hey, we don't want you anymore. In terms of percentage or stats, this guy has like a lot of goals being scored on him just last season.
Very bad.
So
Very bad.
I think I don't want to rule him out, but I feel like if he should go on a loan probably to like another, which I highly doubt that another team, the EPL, would want to have him and even start him in the game if possible. If he should like go on a loan, that would help him much more, and maybe that might put him back on like a first choice keeper for Chelsea. But as of right now, based on stats alone, I don't see him being the first choice keeper for Chelsea.
Derek, does Kepa have a pathway back at any point, or is this over for him? Are we going to cut our losses and sell him for like, we bought him for 72 million. Are we going to sell him for like 20 million? Like, who would even pay 20 million for this guy? I don't know. But
this is a very dicey situation, I'm really going to hold my tongue on this because the guy is the first choice goalie for Spain, right?
Well, he started a friendly guy. On current form, there's no way he started here.
Yeah,
he won't even play.
Now he played the last friendly he started.
No, but I mean he won't play for Chelsea. So if he makes the Euros, if he makes the Euro squad, he's just gonna be a backup. There's no way that he goes to Euros and is first choice keeper. If he's a second choice keeper, at Chelsea. Like that, this is Spain.
Yeah, De Gea is a fair choice for Spain. But
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic and hope that there's a path for him. I think with the amount of involvement that Petr Cech is having, you know, with the goalkeeping situation and even with the first team in general, I think there could be something there that they can put together to help him get his mojo back, help him to get his confidence back, etc. Well, I don't even want to say confidence because I don't think that guy lacks confidence.
No, he's lacking confidence, Dirk.
You think so?
he's lacking
why I'm
confidence.
saying he's lacking confidence? Because if it's not a confidence thing, then he's not talented. He's not. If confidence is not a problem, then the guy is just not as good as we think he is.
You know what?
Yeah, I disagree with you.
Yeah. I actually don't. And you know, we agree to disagree, right? I think he probably is overconfident, honestly. Because if you look at the things that this guy has been doing, well, like he was the guy who like created this whole Chelsea meme right now that we can all go watch. A whole manager is asking that we want to sub you, and he's like, no, I'm not coming off the pitch. Like that is how overconfident you can be, you know? I'm not going to say such a person is not confident. I think that sometimes he felt that he had to up his game to embody the goalie situation in Chelsea, and it hasn't worked for him, and he actually ends up making more mistakes when he tries to embody that. Because we've had some really great goalies who have been, you know, in that Chelsea shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Petr Cech, you know, Courtois, etc. And, you know, coming in with his price tag, all that, and, you know, that kind of thing, he feels that, no, I got to show that I'm the person. You know, he tries to hold the ball. He wants to play it and stuff like that. He's making mistakes. Yeah. He has to start from the basics. Like, you don't, yes, you're good, but you have to give yourself the opportunity to grow and become that goalie. And I think he's putting too much pressure on himself, and he's not giving himself the opportunity to grow to become that player. Because let's take you know, goalies like Alisson, for example. Alisson was coming in with a good pedigree. Like, he was a great. But he didn't, and he was coming in when Liverpool needed him the most.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't come in doing all, you know, the gymnastics and all the craziness. He's not being rude and all that. He's just solid at doing his job and just focus on his job. Okay. And I think that is
he's
what
trying to do too much.
You know, and that's what Kepa is not doing. Kepa is not focusing on his job. He's either blaming other people for the mistakes, you know, or just little things like that. And that can be right. I've seen him fight Rudiger like 2-3 times last season. Yeah. Because he's telling him he's probably not positioned the right way or things like that. You know, you cannot.
Like, what pissed me off is every time there's a goal, he would point.
Exactly. That's
you know, the biggest, as a goalkeeper, every time a goalkeeper, if a goal is scored and the goalkeeper does not move, what he's telling you is,
you blocked my view. Yeah, yep. Right? Basically, yeah. And that is the thing. And I feel that we're in the path of damage control where we're bringing in Mendy, who is not going to do too much. He's just going to focus on his job. You know, he's a Malian or Senegalese, right? Senegalese goalie. I mean, he's like the Kante of goalkeeping. You know, he came out of nowhere and he eventually found himself in a big team. And I think he's going to continue to just focus on his job like Kante did. Just focus on doing the job you're required to do and then do that. Yeah. And I hope during the time that he is, you know, keeping Chelsea out of trouble in that context, you know, Kepa is going to sit back, reevaluate himself, and try to grow to become the goalie that.
But then wouldn't that be too late for him?
Getting that number 1 shirt back. No
way.
I'm not saying that, you know, Kepa can do anything in this world to bring him back. For example, hey, Mendy gets injured and he gets a chance to go in.
He is injured, actually.
You know, but I think it's a short, you know, it's not going to be long. But
I don't think
say he's out 5-6 games and Kepa is solid within these, maybe it could be a chance where, you know, Lampard starts to look at him differently. I don't know. But I think I would say that this is a situation where his life is in his own hands. Yeah. He just got to, you know, take his own life by the scruff of the neck and say, yo, I've made mistakes. I think there's something I got to work on. Help me fix this and be better.
Well, okay, Bobby, let me get you in here for a goalkeeper situation. I mean, a Spurs fan, I don't think you care about our problems, but from where you're seeing it, like, what do you think about? Is there any way that this guy can play himself back into the Chelsea #1 shirt, or is it over for him?
Well, the advantage Kepa has is he's like 5 years old. So, like, if he has the time and if he had the right mentorship, I think, yeah, he would be able to get his spot back.
Yeah.
But it's also Chelsea. Like, he's already gone.
Yeah.
Like, they just haven't actually sold him yet.
I don't think there's no way back for him. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And that's on Abramovich, too. Like, Abramovich knows he doesn't want Kepa to play at this point, and once he makes up his mind, then the player's gone.
Yeah.
They just haven't actually sold him yet. And it's just, we'll see where he goes, and we'll see if he ends up becoming actually worthy of being sold for 72 million.
Yeah, but I just don't think. I think we tried to sell him, but nobody wants him. Like, because like you can look throughout all of Europe. Nobody, if anybody, if a team wants him, they're not trying to pay either the price tag or his wages, right? So we're stuck with him. We're stuck with this guy, and I just don't see a pathway for him coming back.
That's the also Chelsea.
I know that's what. Let me get you. You haven't talked about it. We probably have to go back to the United situation then.
Nah, let's save it. Let's save it. Daniel,
No, you can actually
let's save United, please.
you can actually.
Daniel, don't kidding.
I can't relate. That's my bad.
Right. Well, actually,
I don't want to talk about
but
United
let's
situation
go-
right now.
Is there any way for him back?
I don't think so because one, looking at the way Chelsea are actually moving right now, it's like there's no time for mistakes. If you actually keep on making mistakes, I mean, you are gone. And the way Lampard is also handling the team, I mean, he's actually ruthless and very just with his decisions that he's actually making. So looking at Kepa, the chances that he was given to probably make amends, and he didn't take those chances, and they going further to bring Mendy. I don't think there's a way back for Kepa. I don't think there's a way back for Kepa.
Yeah, I don't see it at all because I'm looking at it and I'm like I just don't see how one. I think Chelsea are trying their hardest to sell.
I mean, unless Derek was mentioning something right there that unless probably maybe an injury to Mendy and he's given the opportunity again, and he actually proves, I mean, the whole Chelsea and the world that, I mean, he still deserves a place in Chelsea. That's the only way, that's the only time he can actually get back into the team. But now, if Mendy is actually fit, I don't think we'll probably be looking at Kepa again. I mean, his time is gone.
It's over. It's over for Kepa.